Hello and welcome to the channel. This is my first video. Because I will be uploading this to neets.net, I will be making the first video about my job experiences, problems with working. However, I don't think that's going to be the sole topic of the channel. I want to discuss other things too. I want to discuss interpersonal relationship issues I've had, theories about how the world works, these sorts of things. Sort of black pill, sort of generalized, sort of DBDR, Western decline, collective dismal sort of channels, right? I want to be a copycat and I want to have a channel like that of my own. So that's what we're here for. So I'm actually playing Morrowind right now, but I can't play and talk at the same time. I cannot multitask to save my life. It's actually the reason why I got basically fired from my last job, which I'll speak about. But yeah, so you're just going to have to look at the lovely scenery with the LODs that are all loaded into OpenMW. So this is all on a new engine. This all looks fucking amazing. I'm loving every moment of it. Love Morrowind, love OpenMW. Great engine. Anyway. So, I will start from the beginning. So, my first job that I ever had was working in an office. I won't say exactly what I was doing, but it was very difficult, and I had to make a lot of judgment calls. Very first job that I ever done. I was about 17 or 18. I got it because I had good qualifications at school, and I had good qualifications at college or university. But I was basically incapable. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I lost that job pretty quickly. I think I lost it after about 5 weeks. They said to me, you know, you're just not good enough. I remember one call in particular that I had, where an old woman was phoning me telling me her husband had died and that she couldn't pay off a bill. And there was just nothing I could do. She was crying on the phone and stuff like this. Not very nice. Not very nice to listen to. So then after that, I had a huge period of neatdom because that was when the pandemic happened. Just after that, just after college and just after I had started that job, the pandemic. Sorry, I had ended that job. The pandemic happened, and so I had a huge period of neatdom, just doing nothing. Which was kind of boring. Towards the end of it, I had a new lease on life because I started to eat raw meat and stuff like this. And it made me feel good, made me feel healthy. I've never felt healthier. It's unfortunate that I had stopped doing it, but I'm going to restart it again because I've never felt as healthy as I did sunbathing and eating raw meat. It was unbelievable. I think what I will do this time though is I will also eat cooked foods as well. So I'll eat cooked foods and I'll eat raw meat rather than just solely eating the raw meat. Because it's just impractical and it makes me look strange. And if I'm only eating raw meat, then I have to eat lots of it. Therefore, there is a higher likelihood of people catching me in the act, as it were, you know, eating raw liver or something and thinking that I'm insane and then throwing me into the asylum. And I don't want to go there. So I'll have to be covert about it, you know. So eat normal cooked foods as well. I'm thinking of going. Anyway, that's the topic for a completely different video. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm supposed to be talking about work, right? Anyway, so I had that period of unemployment, and then after that, I worked in like a Starbucks, and that was horrible. That was an incredibly cliquey job, where the people who had been working there for many years, and I was the new guy. Now, I thought they would have cut me some slack because I was the new guy, but they instead used it as an excuse to give me all the hard jobs and basically give me too much work to do. They gave me too much work for one man to be capable of doing, right? Whilst they sat in the coffee room having coffees together and talking and chatting and listening to music, I was basically cleaning the floor, I was doing the coffees, I was serving the customers, I was doing this, I was doing that. I was on the till, I was ringing up the bills and making, you know, the money and stuff like that. I was doing everything by myself. And they just left me to do that. And I basically quit after about 2 months of that bullshit. I actually quit on Halloween of that year, which is usually a busy time for them because you got all the pumpkin spice sort of lattes and things. And I quit on that day just as a sort of fuck you sort of thing, and they begged me to stay. They were like, oh my god, what are we going to do? We need to have an extra part. I was like, well, you know, you've been treating me like this for months. You know, what do you expect? I'm gone, I'm out of here, you know, I'm going to enjoy Halloween, have a good time, you know, be scared of not being able to fucking look after your job, you know, fuck you. Anyway, so I left that job. And there's a bunch of stuff that happened in between that job and me getting the next job, but I won't talk about that because that's a topic for another time. It was quite eventful, so I'll make a video about it. The next job I had after that was in Amazon, and that was actually my best job out of all of them so far. I loved working in Amazon, it was good. The only reason, so the job that I was doing wasn't like running around, it was like standing in one spot doing the same job over and over again. I wasn't allowed to. Apparently I've been up for 26 hours, anyway. I wasn't allowed to, but what I did is I snuck in an earbud, like a Sony or an iPhone earpod or whatever. And I used to hide it underneath my hat and my hood because it was cold. It was really snowy and windy at the time, so everybody was like wearing lots of clothes. I could get away with hiding it, you know? So I would just basically sit and listen to podcasts. I would listen to a collection of Dr. Edward Dutton, Jolly Heretic videos. Learned a lot about mutational load and genetics, right? At my job at Amazon, just sort of listening to him talking and going, oh, this is really interesting. Oh, I'm still doing my menial labor job. Anyway, well, that was good. You know, I used to listen to Lex Friedman podcasts as well. There was one in particular about a guy in the Amazon rainforest that was super interesting. It was really cool. I've got a real interest in like animals and sort of exotic plants and tropical forests, and you know, it's really cool to me. That's why I like Morrowind so much. What else was I going to say? But yeah, my contract ran out at that time. It was during the Christmas period. And they basically told me that they could have kept me on, but there was better people than me, so they were just like, we're just gonna terminate your contract basically, because you know it's ran its course, and you're not good enough to be kept on just now. So you can reapply in 6 months. They said, you know, we'd be more than happy to take you on again, especially because you've got extra experience, you know. So yeah, that was fine. I was fine with that. And then I had a period of unemployment for about another couple of months, and then I had this job, which I've been at for a couple of months again. This job was a sales job. My last job, the one I've just left about a week ago, was a sales job. And I was in what was called customer retention, which means that I was constantly butting heads with customers. Constantly. They were wanting to leave, and I had to try to convince them to stay. And all I got for my efforts for that was abuse. I would get customers abusing me over the phone, telling me I'm a fucking Scottish idiot, a jock, stupid cunt, all this sort of stuff, right? Because a lot of the people that were phoning in were English. I'm not saying all the English people were horrible bastards, right? I'm not saying that, but a lot of them were. There was a lot of nice English people, though. I really like. There's a lot of old people that were really nice. What I found is that a lot of because their name comes up on the account, and if they have names like Rajesh or Duval or like Muhammad, then these people were usually quite impatient and quite horrible to you. quite horrible to customer service. But if they had names like George, Charlie, Jennifer, they were usually quite nice and understanding and appreciative of your help for them, right? So that's all I'll say about that. It was just an odd coincidence that that happens to be the case. Just a strange coincidence. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I was meeting my targets and stuff. You know, I was selling stuff, I was keeping customers, I was meeting all my targets. It was a target-driven job, which I fucking hate, to be honest with you. I hate target-driven jobs now. I thought I'd try them out. I've tried a couple out. The Amazon job was target-driven, but I sort of managed it fine because I had that ability to sort of space out and listen to interesting documentaries about, you know, the Russian Revolution or, you know, some like the East India Company or something like that. I could sort of zone out and listen to interesting things, whereas at this job I wasn't able to do that. So I had to just be in my own head all the time. And then on top of that, it was so loud in that place. People were playing music. This in the office, people were playing music like techno, like a fucking Avicii, EDM music and everything. I'm like, holy fuck! How can anybody concentrate at this job? It's one of the reasons why I think I'm mildly Aspergic, because I cannot multitask, and I cannot be in a super loud fucking environment and concentrate. It's terrible. I can't do it. The office politics as well, completely incapable of even understanding it. It's just yeah, it's fucked. It's not the environment that I need to be in, basically, as a person. And I realized that with this job, and I kept getting brought up all the time. They would review my work and they would say, you know, you're not compliant on this one's wrong, this one's... just like, fuck. They just told me, they basically just told me that your behaviour's fine, you're not being punished for misbehaving or whatever, you've been perfectly happy to retain customers and to sell stuff. That's been really good. But the problem is you've not been following the compliance procedures, which means that we cannot keep you on. So they actually forced me to do a personal resignation rather than firing me. They said that they don't fire people. What they do is they get you to resign instead, which is bullshit. Because it means that you might not be eligible for government benefits, which is what I found out today. That I might not be eligible for the full amount today because I went to the benefits office to try to get back on universal credit, and they told me that I might not be eligible for the full amount because I've resigned technically and I wasn't fired. So that's really pissed me off, because I asked them, I said, is this going to affect it? They said it shouldn't. Fucking liars. I'll never work there again. They can go fuck themselves. I've got a higher likelihood of going to work at Amazon than I am working at that place again, to be honest. At least with Amazon, you know what you're getting in for. You know it's going to be a fucking shit heap. You know it's Jeff Bezos's fucking New World Order fucking slave camps. You know that. All these other jobs will lie to you and tell you that, you know, oh, it's such a great place to work. Oh my god, the benefits are amazing. I never heard of anybody getting promoted at my stay there. All they done was on Fridays they sometimes had pizzas delivered. That was it. There was never more pay. They never increased the pay. Nothing. So it's just bullshit. It's just office nonsense. It really is. So I'm neat again, and I'm unemployed, and I'm perfectly happy to just sort of sit on my arse and do nothing for a bit. I've got things I want to study. I've got books I want to read. I've got a book called The Short History of Japan by well, it says his name's Hain. I think Mikiso Hain, A Short History of Japan. And I also have Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari that I want to read. And I want to read some books about well, I can't really mention that, because I'm in the UK and I might get hate crimed. But yeah, sort of political books and stuff like this. I've got things I want to read, and I also want to study physics. I want to up to a point of, you know, just boredom, I suppose. And when I get bored of it, I'll stop researching it. And I also want to write my own novel, my own dystopian civilization collapsed sort of novel that I want to write, set in the UK. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun being a NEET again, bro. It's gonna be so much fun. I want to make music as well. I want to do dungeon synth music, which I might upload to a SoundCloud and then tie it into this account, this YouTube account. Who knows? The world is my fucking oyster. I'm unemployed again. I'm a NEET. Life is good. So if you like this content, please subscribe. As I mentioned, I will be doing other videos talking about other things. This isn't just a video about being a NEET. Sorry, a channel about being a NEET. This is just the video talking about it. I want to talk about other things too, like other channels that I've mentioned, Collective Dismal, Hell by the Dashboard Light, Life is Overrated 96, The Prison Called Life, Benedictine the Truth, all these sorts of channels. I want to do content like that, right? But with some video games in the background, like DBDR for instance. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you don't, that's alright. You stayed this long, so there must be something that's entertaining. So maybe double check that if you if you want to subscribe. Yeah, so without further ado, I will be making the next video straight after this one. But I need to figure out how to turn that eating and sleeping mod off, because it's distracting me and it's basically artificially stopping my progress in the game, right? You've seen the little notification that came up, so I need to get rid of that first. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.